Hello there, and welcome to the Double Zero Challenge channel. We do just one thing on this channel, and that's to take these two D10 dice and see how long it takes before we can roll a double zero. If you'd like to play along, please write down your guess now. Don't, however, disclose it in the comments. Just keep it to yourself and let other people watch the video and find out for themselves. There will be more things to explain as we go along, but with odds of 1 in 100 against us, let's get cracking. So, roll number 1. And that is a 3 and a 6. I'll read them all out as we go along. And that's an 8 and a 7. And we have a double 4. Now, if we do encounter a double, it goes on this bottom row here. It's just basically to test how just for fun, basically. Don't need to say any more than that. Would expect to see 9 other doubles on the way to 100. Anyway, I am over explaining. We put down the doubles. Let's move on. And that's a 0, but it's a 6. Remember, it's a double 0 we're looking for. And that's a 3 and a 5. We have a 5 and a 6. And that's a 5 and a 1. It's a 0, but it's a 5. And we have a 2 and a 5. And that is a double 9. So we stick that at the bottom as well. And that's a 2 and a 3. And that is a double 6, which would be great if we had D6s, but these are D10s. So let's move on. And that's a 5 and a 9. And we have a 6 and a 1. And that's an 8 and a 6. And we have a double 3 there. A lot of doubles so far. And that's a double 2. Fifth double. Sometimes the dice gods like to play with us. And that is another double 6. Remember, the hypothetical odds of 1 in 100 or 1 in 10 for a double don't always play out in real life. We have an 8 and a 5. And that is a 1 and a 4. And that's a 7 and a 5. And we have a 6 and a 3. And that's a 9 and a 3. And we have a 0, but we have a 5. An 8 and a 4. And that's a 9 and a 5. That is a 9 and a 3. And we have a 9 and a 6. I know they've got little lines, but sometimes you need to rotate them just to make doubly sure. We have an 8 and a 2 there. And that is a double 4, becoming our seventh double of the session. And that's a 9 and a 7. And we have an 8 and a 2. And that's a 3 and a 7. And that's a 4 and a 2. That is a double 8. Also our 8th double of the session. We have a 9 and a 7 there. And that's a 5 and a 6. Oh, make that a bit clearer. It's a 0, but it's a 1. And that's a 4 and a 9. And we have a 9 and a 6. It's a 5 and a 1. And we have a 3 and a 6. It's a 0, but it's a 2. And we have a 3 and a 6. That's a 0, but it's a 6. Every 50th roll, we're going to do a massive one. We're going to make a double-hander roll. That's coming up very shortly. But first, a 2 and a 5. And that's a 6 and an 8. We have a 2 and a 5. And that's a 7 and a 6 and the double-hander one. And that is a 6 and a 1. So no dice so far. We carry on for roll number 100. And that is a 4 and a 3. And we have a 6 and a 1. And that's a 7 and an 8. And we have a double 3 there. 3 times 3 is 9, and that's the 9th double of the session. And that's a 6 and a 5. And that's an 8 and a 4. Oh. And we have a 5 and a 9. And that's a 6 and a 5. And we have a double 0 at 59 rolls. Along the way, we'd expect to see about 6 doubles, but instead we have 9. The hypothetical odds have just not matched real world plans. So if you said 59, well done to you. Big pat on the back. And that is us at the required number. So we end the session. Thank you so much for watching. You take care and roll on next time.